It's in video?
Yes.
Okay, so today we're going to do a icy conditions driving video. And this is going to probably come off like a Subaru commercial, but we don't work for Subaru. We just own one, but we live up on top of a mountain in Montana, and they're pretty handy vehicle for these kind of conditions. If you look at our driveway right here, you'll see that it's iced with water on it, which is about as slick as conditions as we see. I mean, I imagine you could run a Zamboni down it and get slicker, but that's about it. We use our 71 Chevy pickup truck here to plow our driveway. And then we've also got our Jeep Cherokee chained up over there that we also use as our backup vehicle. But in the wintertime, we primarily try and drive the Subaru. This is a 2003 Subaru Outback. We've got Hankook studded snow tires on it, and it does really good. We've only had to cable up once since we've started doing this stuff.
This is Sean walking around the car. Actually, he is sliding around the car and having to hang on. It is that slick that he can't even stand up hardly. So he's sliding around the car to get in to drive us down the driveway, which is a sheet of ice, as he was saying. All right, we're getting ready to take off.
Okay, so I'm starting out in first gear. One of the keys to driving these conditions is keep your speed as slow as you can. Now, one thing about cars, they can do one thing at a time. They can turn or they can brake, but it's hard to do both. Now, one thing you'll notice, I'm kind of trying to find little bare spots, which helps. The ABS helps a lot with the Subaru. So see, right now I'm using the ABS a little bit. Now we're at the bottom and I'm turning. We got a little bit of a hill here, so I can use that to decelerate some. It's kind of easing down. To give you an idea how slick this is, yesterday I was out in the truck and I was using the plow to steer. I wasn't getting any kind of control out of the front tires in many areas, but I could tilt my plow one direction or another and I could get it to turn. But just kind of easing around these bends, trying to keep the speed under control as best we can. Here we got a couple little bare spots up here. That's a help. One of the things about living on a mountain in Montana, you know, a lot of people come out in the summertime and they stand up on these beautiful mountaintops, which this is certainly one of them, and they look out at the gorgeous view and they say, oh, I want to live here, but they don't think about what winter looks like around here. Well, this is going to be a lot better than yesterday. We got some more bare spots. We drove up here last night. The Subaru does amazingly well on these things. Now, one of the nice things too is we got this snowbank, which helps stop us if we start sliding out of control. Sometimes this turns into a bobsled run down through here. It can be a little unnerving. It's a pretty far drop off the side. I'll cozy up to the snowbank here so Annette can film out over the drop. Some people kind of get a little nervous about that. But, you know, we usually got, you know, at least 6 inches of snowbank or more, and it's pretty dense, and if you're going slow, you can, you know, the snowbank will stop you. Occasionally you end up, it's kind of like bumper bowling. You're kind of bouncing off the snowbanks, but you're able to make, you know, get her under control eventually. Now, this is nice though. We're on a south-facing slope here, which is great. We get a little more sun, a little warmer. So it's actually not completely sheeted over ice like it was yesterday when we came in. So we got some nice bare spots here. We can kind of let her run a little bit because we got, you know, we're just on dirt. But very often this is just one sheet of ice from top to bottom. Our driveway is about 1.5 miles, so this is going to be a fairly long little video for you. Hope it's not too boring, but it's pretty exciting when you're riding it though. Okay, now we're back into the icy spots. We got these little rivulets. Uh-oh, we got a rock up there. That's going to be a little bit sporty to get around.
Yeah. Getting it out will be bad.
Yeah, I better get out and get it. This will test the Subaru's braking on ice ability. Part of the challenge here too is I got to get close, because you can't really walk on this. If I get away from the car, it's kind of like in that Apocalypse Now movie. You don't get off the boat, man. You know, it's bad.
I think I would try to get over in the snow a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and that's a good co-pilot. She coaches me on these things, but here we are. So I'm going to get out and I'm going to move that rock. And the Subaru stopped real nice. Well, okay, well, we're kind of sliding now. She'll just kind of ease over into this rut here and come to a stop.
I'll put the parking brake on.
Parking brake's a good idea. Okay, well, here we go.
Notice he's hanging on to the car because it's slick, and I have seen him fall. You doing okay out there, dear?
Yep.
Don't fall.
Try not to.
Get up in the snow.
Okay, I'm in the snow.
That's a big rock.
Yeah, it's a big rock. I don't know how that got there. I just fell off up here. That's the thing about mountains too, you know, between the animals. I think I'm going to come around the back.
Easier when you got the car downhill.
Yeah, that way I don't rip the bug screen off the hood.
Well, I'm going to pause this for a second while you're getting back in.
Okay. Okay, we successfully removed the obstacle and I didn't fall on my butt. I did kind of have to take a knee, but... And what I'm doing now is I'm following this little rivulet. It's got a little bit of texture in the ice there, which is real helpful. You know, just enough to where I can get a hold of it. And that's the beautiful thing about these Subarus. You know, if one tire can find something, it'll do it. And sometimes all you got is one tire that's actually, like, you know, under control. Everything else is just sliding. But as long as you keep moving, coming up, you can keep going. Oh, this is some beautiful ice up here. So yeah, we just kind of ease on down the road. And we got some more nice little kind of textured stuff up here. So we're, you know, the ABS is finding a little grip. You know, I'm able to decelerate slightly. There's just a little bit of ripple from where I ran up and down it with the chains yesterday, so that does give us a little bit of texture to get a hold of. But yeah, a lot of people want to live on a mountain in Montana, but not a lot of people really can, and about everybody we know that lives on a mountain in Montana has a Subaru Outback. So and I don't know about the other Subarus, like the Foresters and all those. All our friends have got Outbacks, and those work really great for them, but I imagine the other ones work very well too. And this is a 2003, and I imagine the newer ones we know have got higher ground clearance. Wouldn't make it over that boulder we had in our driveway, but that can be real handy sometimes, and I imagine they do as well as the older ones do. But we've had really good luck with this car since we've had it. It's 2011 now, and I think it was the first 3 years we just used the factory tires on it, didn't we?
I think so.
Yeah. And then after that, we upgraded to the winter studded snows, and we like the Hankooks. They're a good winter snow tire. And we do have some cables for it. We've used them once or twice, but usually if you keep moving, you don't need them. If
you're going up, don't stop. You'll be fine.
That's it. And this is a private driveway, which is really nice because we know all our neighbors are out of town right now. If we had somebody coming up the hill right now, it'd get a little western out here.
I've had it happen before.
That's when you really get stuck. So we carry a bag of sand in the back in case that happens. And usually if you can get some sand out under your tires where you're trying to turn or get yourself out, you can get it under control and get it unstuck. Another thing though that's good when you're coming down something like this is think about what you would do if a vehicle was around this corner up here. You know, don't be panicking and figuring it out on the fly. You know, think about it beforehand. Just kind of do some little drills. Like what we would do is we would probably run into either the upslope bank or the downslope bank, kind of depending on which direction the road is leaning. because gravity will help you definitely in this ice. And what you want to do is you want to get into the bank, and if you can get into the bank, you can stop. Now once in a while you'll get sideways and then you're pretty stuck, but it's a lot better than a collision.
I hope that this video is showing how slimy and slick this ice is, because it's just glistening.
It is. It's just it's rain on top of ice. You might could open your window and show them, you know, point it down out the side.
Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah, see if it captures the back camera.
I won't. I don't think so. It's too. If it were sunny out, I think it would glint more. But it's not very sunny today. But it's pretty slick. I get the joy of getting out and closing the gate once we get through it. That should be pretty Western.
Yeah.
I hope I don't fall in and break my tailbone.
You think we ought to demonstrate an uphill run, go up to the pond?
No.
No?
I
Okay.
need to get going.
All right. Well, we're heading out to Grand Targhee to go skiing. That's another thing. We're weighted pretty heavy. We got a full tank of fuel and a lot of gear, and the extra weight certainly helps because you get better traction. Does give you a little more momentum going downhill on the ice, so it's a bit of a trade-off on descent, but it's real handy coming up. But the Subarus, with their weight distribution, they do really well. I mean, you don't have to have a ton of cargo on board for them to handle well. I mean, the Jeep, we'd have to be chained up in the Jeep.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt.
And then the old truck, man, even though it's all steel, that's pretty wild. You gotta be chained up, and when it's light in the back, man, it's a ride getting up here. But here we are to our gate. So that's our little winter conditions driving video.
Oh, look at that! Woohoo!
Okay, and we come to a nice controlled sort of stop. Okay, there we go.
This will show you how slick it is. Look at Sean. Hopefully he's not gonna fall. Be careful.
Right.
Be careful.
And yesterday we started from a dead stop right there where you're parked.
Yeah, and went up the hill.
Yeah. So it'll do it. Okay, I got the gate.
You're gonna have to break it loose, I think. There you go. It's nice to have the gate to hold on to, isn't it? Whee! Sliding! Yay!
Yeah. And we lock this gate because people come up here and dump trash. So you got to keep the gate locked, otherwise they'll try and turn you into a landfill.
No kidding, because they're too cheap to go to the regular dump. Well, anyway, I'm going to quit filming now, but you can see how slick that is.